Greetings, beautiful people. So, what I want to call this live is don't be blind to characters. So, as you can see when you first come into the live, it's baby Krishna. So, Krishna is the spirit that lives within you. Now, the spirit that lives within you is created. I mean, the spirit that lives within you. The soul is where the spirit lives at. Um, the soul is like the sun, the chariot, the vessel. Um, the soul. So what I want to talk about is the character. The soul actually creates our characters. So our character becomes a gift, a gift from the soul. So with our personality being a gift from the soul, we have to honor our personality. So this is why we learn about our zodiac, we learn about our astrology, we learn about um, the different aspects of our personality. Um, these Learning about these different aspects of your personality helps you to tap into your talents. It helps you tap into not just your talents but your abilities. Your abilities to become a greater version of yourself. Um, this also is a generational curse. This is breaking curses. This is also um, it's healing. So I had an image of Chucky that I wanted to put up. And the reason I wanted to put this image of Chucky up because I wanted to do a demonstration about how you cannot be blind to character. Everybody has character. Character is created from the soul. So the character is created throughout the many different things that you experience throughout your life. So when you go through things, your trials and tribulations, when you go through your different obstacles in your life, these things that you go through start to shape and start to mold your character. And sometimes when we go through these different things in our life, we develop what is known as an injured character. Greetings, greetings. So we develop what is known as an injured character. So when your character has been injured, this actually stunts your growth and development as a person, right? So your person is your personality, right? So this actually stunts your growth and development, right? So let's think about some situations where your character can be injured. Let's say, for instance, when you a child, let's say you never get a compliment, meaning nobody never tells you thank you, good job, you did amazing, that it was good enough. Let's say that you only heard you don't do it right, you in the way, right? Let's Yes, greetings, greetings. So let's say that's all you heard. You in a way, that's what you felt like. You were in a way. You felt like you was a burden, right? So this can become an injured character, right? So because now your character feels burdened. Now your character feels um unpurposeful. Now your character has lost sight of what's going on, right? Because your character has been injured. And this happens to a lot of us. Our confidence is affected, our um, desires, our dreams, you know? Greetings, greetings. So over time, our character goes through different things. So we have to keep in mind that at some point we have to stop. At some point we have to stop and actually heal our character, right? So when I say heal our character, I'm talking about actually acknowledging what your character is and going through the process. But also, when we are talking about our character and healing our character, we also have to be aware of characters. So that's what I was saying when I wanted to put the video of Chucky up. And the reason I wanted to put the video, I mean not the video, but a picture of Chucky up because I wanted to elaborate on how we can't always see people character, right? So let's say for instance, I'm your cousin and I come to the family cookout and I bring Chucky with me to the family cookout. As my cousin, you gonna want to pull me to the side and let me know that Chucky got a reputation out here. As my cousin, you gonna want to pull me to the side and let me know, you gonna want me to see the little movie that Chucky in. You gonna put me up on game that Chucky ain't who I think Chucky is. Greetings, greetings. So you gonna be pulling me to the side, enlightening me about how who Chucky is not who I think Chucky is, right? Because at the time, I'm blind to Chucky's character. I'm blind to who Chucky really is. Because you got to think about it. Chucky could change the way he dressed. He don't got the little jumpsuit on. You get what I'm saying? He could change the way he dressed. Chucky could start, getting his hair done differently. You get what I'm saying? To where he actually is changing his appearance to where I don't recognize who he is. I'm blind to his character. You get what I'm saying? Because a lot of people focus on the flesh. That's the reason I'm saying that. Because people actually focus on people's flesh. And they're not looking at the character. They're not looking at who that person really is. They're not looking at who that, like, because when you really, let's look at Chucky's character. Because we all don't watch that movie at some point, right? So let's look at Chucky's character. So his character in the movie, he was hanging around with the little boy Andy. And he was attempting to transfer his soul into Andy's body. Okay? So, first of all, Chucky knew how to do some type of voodoo or something. Or some type of. Chucky has some knowledge of how to switch souls and bodies, right? So, Chucky's some type of warlock, right? Um, Not only that, Chucky got all the scars, right? So because Chucky, you know, how many movies is it where he was doing all this stuff? You know, it's several different movies where he did several different things to several different people. So let's just say we lack knowledge that we dating this person, or you know what I'm saying. So we become blind to who this person really is because we look at their outward appearance. And a lot of us do that. I remember being a young girl and I was taught you want to find a man that has a good job. They tell you, you know, he graduated from school, he got a good job. I don't really think they really tell you nothing else. You get what I'm saying? Like, because people end up with a man that provide for them, but sometimes people end up with a man that has a mean spirit. You know, because nobody didn't tell you that people could have mean spirits. Nobody didn't tell you people could have wicked spirits, evil spirits. You know, nobody jealous spirits. You know, we got to start learning how to heal these things in ourselves because that's how you protect yourself from these things in other people. See, I had the game backwards, y'all. When I first started creating content, I was out here trying to save the world because I did not realize the only person you can save is yourself. With that being said, you got to do the work on yourself. Yes, you got to do the work on yourself. Like this is the greatest work ever on yourself because this is how you protect yourself. This is how you secure your position by investing in yourself. I'm telling you. So what does that mean? Cuz I'm on some new stuff, right? So protecting yourself means learning about your jealousy. People was jealous of you at some point in time. Now, when these people was jealous of you, they did certain things to let you know that they was jealous of you. So what was those things that they did? You know, people like when people jealous of you, people they may treat you mean. You know, they may tease you, right? Okay. So so people, you know, they do certain things. And the reason I say that is because when you learn what those things are, you can stop doing those things, right? So, like, let's say for instance that, let's say for instance, when we're talking about healing yourself, um, when you know when people do things that you don't like, and we all had things happen in our life where people did things to us that we didn't like. So that's where you kind of sit yourself down and you kind of write down how did it make you feel. The reason you writing down how did it make you feel is because you have to reflect and learn from that lesson. Because that was a lesson. That person came in your life and taught you how to treat people, right? So you must take that lesson. Don't be a victim. Learn your lesson. Actually reflect on how you made them feel, how they made you feel. What was the outcome? Once you're able to reflect and sort through those feelings, you're able to grow from that. You're able to treat people better from that. You're able to learn from that experience, right? So this experience becomes valuable to you. Why? Because this experience is what taught you how to become a better person. So now you starting to take the things that used to trigger you. Now you taking the things that used to hurt you, the things that used to bother you, the things that used to get in your way, and now you turning it around, making it work in your favor. You see how you doing that? That's growth and development, right? That's what we got to learn how to do, because we reap what we sow. Because you reap what you sow, and that's the laws of the universe, you are what you attract. Because you are what you attract, whatever state you in, that is the state of the people that you are going to attract around you. So if you are unhealed, you gonna attract unhealed people. If you have not worked on these different things in yourself and released yourself from these things, you will find yourself dealing with these things, right? Because you are what you attract. And those are the laws of the universe. Greetings, greetings. Yes. And those are the laws of the universe, right? So, with those laws of the universe, but we can manifest with the laws of the universe when you learn how to use them. And learning how to use the laws of the universe is becoming the greatest version of yourself so you could attract the greatest version of yourself. Meaning, you start working on healing different aspects of yourself. Okay, but with like a lot of these things that we think other people are doing, a lot of these things we subconsciously do to ourselves, right? So you have to say like this: if you not doing any harm, wicked, or any of those things can't come to you, so you shouldn't claim those type of things. See, that's the so with that being said, what you want to do, you want to read the laws of the universe. You want to comprehend what the laws of the universe is, because the laws of the universe actually apply to everybody in the universe. After you read the laws of the universe, you want to tap into the laws of Ma'at. Once you tap into the laws of Ma'at, you want to make sure you in alignment with having your heart right. Because you can't control what other people do. You can't control what other people say. But what you can do is get yourself in alignment with the universe, right? And once you get yourself in alignment with Ma'at, you want to do the laws of nature. So the laws of nature is going to align you with the nature. So as long as you in alignment with nature, you in alignment with the universe, and you in alignment with my eye. That's where the Bible say all things are going to work together for your good. So that means all things. So that means even things that you perceive as negative or things you may not understand why they happening or things that you might not comprehend what's going on is still working out for your good. Because we got to understand when we take this spiritual path is not all about butterflies, hummingbirds. It's not it is a beautiful path, but it ain't pretty. So what that means is when you on a spiritual path, you actually on a path to get to know yourself. So getting to know yourself means getting to know your good, your bad, and your ugly. So that means you gotta go and learn about your dark side too. Cause everybody got a dark side. People quick to say, I don't have a dark side. Yes, you do. We all do. Everybody has a dark side. So what is this dark side? That's chaos. Chaos is unknown. Chaos is, it could be abandonment issues. It can be, um, it can be somebody that you need to forgive that you didn't forgive. It can be, um, a dream that wants to come true that you forgot about. It can be something that you need to do, but you procrastinating because you're afraid and you don't want to face it. These type of things do manifest as situations in your life. These things do manifest as people that come in your life to bring forth these situations that we try to hide and these situations that we don't want to deal with. Because when we are here on this spiritual path, it's about this purpose. It's no longer our choice, like, well, I want to do this, well, I want to. No, it's you walking in your purpose. The spirit created you for spiritual reasons. The spirit created you for soul purpose, right? So the spirit is going to use you however the spirit need to use you. So when the spirit use you how the spirit need to use you, sometimes that's not in your plans. Sometimes that's not what you thought it was going to look like. Sometimes that's not what you expected, because that's what makes it a spiritual journey. It becomes a journey. You get what I'm saying? And the spiritual journey is beautiful because on your spiritual journey, you got to learn how strong you are. You going to learn that by going through some shit. You going to go through some shit. I could sit here and tell you gonna see hummingbirds and you gonna be out there skipping, picking dandelions, and that's lying. You gonna go through some things on this spiritual journey. But that's where you gonna find out how strong you really are. That become a beautiful thing when you get through that. But you have to go through it to realize I'm strong. Now that becomes wisdom, right? Because you went through something. You learned something. You achieved something. But you had to go through sweat, blood, tears, fears, right? To get that. So even even you got I lost my train of thought. But you know what too? When you on your spiritual journey, you gotta learn too it's not about family. You gotta learn this on your spiritual journey. That's what I mean by the spiritual journey ain't pretty. Because on this spiritual journey, you're gonna have to learn that your purpose don't have nothing to do with your family. Your purpose is your purpose alone. You know? Like I was saying on my live earlier how as a mother, we want the best for our children. So we will actually want things for them like I want you to be this. I want you to be a doctor. I want you to be a lawyer. I want you to be this. Your child might want to be an architect. They dream might be to build houses. Meanwhile, you buying them doctor equipment they whole life. You got them enrolling in doctor school. You got them enrolling in medical school. You got them. I'm just saying because sometimes we push these things on to people and people not interested in it. So that's not fair because somebody is actually planning your destiny. And in these situations, that's a lot of pressure. So when somebody else plans your destiny, it's hard for you to focus on your dream. And sometimes you lose sight of your dream. Why? Because you want to be a good daughter. You want to be a good mother. You want to be a good aunt. You want to be a good friend. You want to be a good niece. So you playing all these different roles to be this person to all these different people that you not in tune with you. You're not in tune with what you want to do and how you want to do it and when you want to do it and you become unhappy. Why? Because that's how you end up being a people pleaser. Tell me I'm lying. If you pleasing everybody else and yourself is not happy. That's a people pleaser, right? You gonna learn that on your spiritual journey. Cause you gonna have to make a decision on your spiritual journey. Now you will get to it when you get to it. But you gonna get to it where you have to make a decision. Am I gonna please everybody else? Or am I really gonna make sure I'm happy? Because when I'm happy, everybody around me can be happy. Because when I'm not happy, I'm not a good person. When I'm not happy, I can make other people's life a living hell. When I'm not happy, I, I, I need to be happy. Don't you think you need to be happy? I'm just saying. You gotta be happy. Yeah, you gotta be happy. Cause once you happy, you will be a better mother, a better sister, a better aunt, a better cousin, a better friend, a better neighbor, a better brother, uncle, what you will be a better version of you. See, you could be the unhappy you or you could be the happy you. And that's what people gonna get. So it's best that you go work on becoming the greatest version of yourself, because you could show up with an injured character. You could show up jealous of people. You know, when you supposed to be there and be happy for me. Let's say for instance that I just opened up a new business. Let's say I've been working hard, busting my ass. I've been out here getting up. And you don't know what I'm doing though, right? Because you over there mad because you didn't start your business, right? Let's just say that. Let's just say you want to start a business too. And ain't nothing wrong with that. Nothing is wrong with that. You want to start. Say that's been your dream since you was little too. Let's say that you not working on it. Let's say you didn't make you a vision board. You didn't get you some goals. You didn't put dates on it. You didn't set plans for yourself. You didn't work on making your dreams come true. You didn't invest time in that. I did though, right? I did though. I made a vision board. I was over here putting the work in. I was up to 3 o'clock in the morning. I was Googling stuff. I was watching YouTube videos. I was buying books. I was working hard because I really wanted it really bad. So let's say I have my party and I invite you and you jealous. You ain't jealous of me. You jealous because you didn't make your stuff happen. You jealous because you didn't put that work in. You jealous because you not where you want to be. You got to think this happens to our characters. And sometimes we be like, I don't want to go. Or sometimes we get there and we be like, and we don't be happy for other people. You ever been in this? We do that. We don't be happy for other people. We can't. Why? Because it be something inside of us that know that we can do it too. You know, I ain't saying like we hating on other people, because that's not what I'm saying. I'm saying we will actually have that feeling of envious inside of us. And we don't want to go around people that's doing great things when we not doing great things. Why? Because it's a reminder. It's a trigger. It make us feel some type of way to see somebody doing something when we know we could be doing something. You get what I'm saying? So this is why we working on our characters. Because when our characters are injured, that's how that happens. You have to think about it. Some of us didn't start a business because somebody told us we wasn't good enough when we was younger, and we didn't heal from that. We didn't heal from not being good enough. So that not being good enough is stopping us from moving forward. Some of us, you know, wasn't some of us had to take care of other people at a young age. So we never had an opportunity to put ourselves first. So we don't, that's foreign to us. Some of us don't know how to do that. Some of us had injured characters because you was not allowed to love yourself first. So therefore, your self-love character is injured. So therefore, you have to acknowledge that. Go back and heal that part of yourself, right? So you can move forward, right? You got to take care of yourself. It's okay to love others. It's okay to do for others, but just make sure you putting just as much time as you putting into others into yourself. Because one thing I found out, when we had to put others first at a young age, most of us suffer from neglect issues, because 9 times out of 10, if you was the oldest child and you had to step in and parent at a young age, your parent was spreading themselves thin. So therefore, that's how you get neglect issues. Neglect issues and abandonment issues. This is where your parents have multiple children, and they can't, they don't got enough time to spend with everybody. It's hectic, it's chaotic. Some of y'all are parents with multiple children, so you understand. So with that being said, if you are a parent with multiple children, we gotta start setting times and making sure we spending time with each child equally. Why? Because sometimes we spend more time with the child that require more attention, and the other children have to grow up with abandonment issues. The other children have to grow up with that lack of attention. So now they have to go seek that attention in other places. Now they have to become adults that are attention seekers. Now they become adults that's seeking attention in the wrong places. Why? Because they didn't get that attention that they needed when they was a child. And that is something that can happen in our households, and that injures your character. You know what I'm saying? So our characters can be injured from lack of affection, lack of attention, lack of emotion, lack of communication. So you have to actually analyze your character and think about what your character suffered from, what your character experienced. Therefore, you could begin your healing process with your character. Because if you can heal yourself from these injuries that your character suffered, just by acknowledging what happened, researching how to heal myself from this, you acknowledging that this happened to you, and you sorting through your feelings so you can grow and develop and move forward. A lot of us have stunted our growth. Why? Because we're stuck on these injuries of our characters. Our confidence was injured. So now we can't move forward. You know, our what else is it? Our confidence can be injured. Our trying to think of another word. Our confidence can be injured. Our self-respect can be injured. Um our feelings can be injured. You know, but these are things that we could fix within ourselves if our character has been injured in any way, shape, or form. Okay, so us starting to heal our own characters. Okay, so this means a lot of journaling, self reflection. Um, this means reflecting, remembering, um, and something too on your spiritual journey. I'm gonna have to do me some on your spiritual journey videos. On your spiritual journey, something that you will realize. It's gonna come a time on your spiritual journey where you gonna have to choose yourself. What does that mean? At some time you gotta choose yourself. I remember on my spiritual journey, I had to start speaking up for myself. That's one of the things you lose on your spiritual journey as well, is a voice. You lose your voice. I lost my voice on my spiritual, well, before I got on my spiritual journey, I had lost my voice. On my spiritual journey, I found my voice. Okay, because I didn't know that I lost it.
You gotta lose it to find it.
Yeah, she said you got to lose it to find it. Well, I lost my voice a long time ago on the way. Now, how I lost my voice was because I wasn't allowed to have an opinion. I wasn't allowed to say how I felt about it. I wasn't allowed to say what I thought. I wasn't allowed to, I wasn't allowed to have a say so at all. And years and years and years and years and years of not, getting pushed around, getting told what to do, getting told what I wasn't going to do, what I was going to do. Just, I reached the day where I started standing up for myself. I reached the day where I started speaking up for myself. I reached the day where I found the voice and I started to use it. And I had to use my voice simply because you get tired of just getting tossed to and fro. You get tired of not having no control over your own life. And that's something that you will uncover on your spiritual journey. You're going to start learning how to be the captain of your own ship on this spiritual journey. You gonna learn how to get you some courage and get you a backbone and stand up to whomever you have to stand up to when it comes to you being happy, when it comes to you having peace, when it comes to you having a say about yourself. You gonna learn that on your spiritual journey. Your spiritual journey is supposed to be a journey about learning about yourself. But on your spiritual journey, in life, I get it. We think we somebody's family member, somebody friend. We think we somebody's employee. We think we all these different things until we had to learn who we really truly are. Because we play all these different roles and we get lost in these roles. And when we get lost inside all these different roles, when life truly happens, you have to really find out who you really truly are. And you not them roles. You truly are a spirit that was created by a soul that got purpose. You feel me? And the purpose really is in you. And that's why you're supposed to go within yourself to find that. And that's who you truly are. And nobody can stop that. So, I'm going to talk to y'all beautiful souls real soon because I'm sleepy. It's my bedtime. But I will talk to y'all beautiful souls real soon. Peace.